Markets, governments, nonprofits, universities, hospitals. Civilization's bedrock. In the extreme, what happens if a vendor doesn't trust the paper or plastic in which it's being paid, if a consumer doesn't trust a product as authentic, if predators penetrate services to the vulnerable, if patients are oversold, mistreated, or underassessed, if data is fudged, ideas are lifted or improperly cited, if we don't steward public resources wisely, equitably, ambitiously. Without trust, our bedrock erodes. Institutions become perversions of their otherwise best selves. Trust is civilization's atomic root. Yet under our nose, global trust declines. Not just trust in someone over there, but when asked, do you trust someone like yourself? We see a steady decline over the last decade. Different has transformed into distrust and now metastasized from people over there to our neighbors here and even to ourselves. We trust ourselves less. So what, you might ask? When we don't trust ourselves, we hold ourselves to a lower standard. There begins the erosion towards those extreme circumstances. I'm not going to get into why trust is declining. Instead, I will showcase to you our trust builders who shoulder discovery and education. Starting with Varsity Acres Elementary School's Mr. Knight. I'm a grade 1 teacher from about 10 years ago. My family had just moved back to Calgary from Vancouver Island. I started at kindergarten in English and came here and was doing grade 1 in French. So Mr. Knight asked everyone in class, in French, one by one on that first day, how old are you? And everyone answered with some gibberish word I didn't understand. Then slouching but chipper kid next to me put 6 fingers in the air. So I assumed he was asking everyone, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel? So I put 4 fingers up. And I was like, I'm feeling about a 4, playa. Mr. Knight responded with such warmth in that moment. He always seemed to care. With everything else going on in life at that time, it took an empathic teacher to make school feel like it mattered. Mo Virtue. Where is it? There you go. Now Associate Dean at Weill Cornell. When I was a teenager, Dr. Virtue took me to a Saturday 7 a.m. CME, where yes, I fell asleep. My head bobbed like I was at a Fusion Metallica Koali concert. But after that, medicine didn't feel so foreign, so abstract. I felt maybe one day I could do this. He normalized an entire field with one act. Zahir Lakhani, cardiologist, Order of Canada recipient, former Ismaili Council president, and unintentional Salman Rushdie impersonator. Our first meeting was poetic. On the night of the new moon, I drove from Calgary to Edmonton, reaching there at 7:30, coincidentally meeting you at 8 p.m. And then 12 hours later, I was shadowing you in your clinic. My first U of A mentor. Be courageous, he said. Sometimes we fixate on what feels like big problems. Seek wisdom to truly identify big problems. And as your career grows, don't be shackled by golden handcuffs of professional life. You need courage to be the first mover, to identify that big challenge, to understand it, and then to solve it. For what is truth without action? Be courageous and you'll find courage becomes infectious. Glenda McQueen, Vice Dean, renowned mental health scientist, has never taken more than 4 hours to reply to any of my emails. And with polymath curiosity, converses effortlessly on any topic in any discipline. She has the humility to make time she doesn't have, pruning junior faculty's abstract thoughts so they may mature into concrete actions. Jennifer Hatfield, my former associate dean, compassionate beyond words, like my sister. In how she treats her staff, her bosses, her peers, her faculty, she frees us to take risks. Our linebacker, giving us time to figure things out so we think twice and only have to cut once. Compassion and patience build trust. Build trust in ourselves. And when we trust ourselves, we find stillness. And in that peace we create, we take risks, we think big. Bill Gallagher, Institute Director for Public Health and among the most cited scientists in the world. Selfless, truly selfless. The intellectual and moral equivalent to high-intensity interval training. Every day he pushes himself to be more just, more knowledgeable, and more impactful than the day before. He hunts for truth. He doesn't look, he hunts. And this is to the elite of the dream comment. If only he hunted for good jokes the way he hunts for truth. But I literally trust you with my life, unless it's surgical. And then I'm calling audible. Next, and most important, Kawhi Leonard. It's my mom, the ultimate global citizen. All I do is repeat her catchphrases, but in a medical context, and then I get awards. It's actually pretty sweet. Now I can feel my mom wincing at this attention, but like any good son, my mom's discomfort is my pleasure and duty. I'll just share one of those phrases that I used to so lovingly, mockingly catalog. Aleem, listen to understand, don't listen to speak. Never reply insincerely. Ask questions. Take time to think about it, and close the loop later. Make that effort. You'll build trust in the long run. In the broadest sense, if you knew even an eighth of what my mom has shepherded our family through, you would know she rises above uncertainty by trusting the creative, maternal, and paternal forces bigger than us all. Mr. Knife's empathy, Dr. Virgie's sense of belonging, Dr. Lakhani's courage to act, Dr. McQueen's humility and curiosity, Dr. Hatfield's compassion, Dr. Galley's generosity and commitment to truth, and Dr. Mom's respect for difference. These traits make up the exact UNESCO definition of global citizenship. We use heart to foster empathy, generosity, a sense of belonging, compassion, and a respect for difference. We use mind to be curious, humble, to commit to truth. We use heart and mind together to muster the courage to act. Citizenship behavior builds trust. A humanist imperative, an Islamic imperative, a precondition to cosmopolitanism in your department, in your faculty, in your university, in your region, in your country. Trust builds the atomic root of our society. It is on the backs of these real people, modeling these behaviors every day, on which discovery and education can be built. Now, why do I say all of this at an alumni event? The purpose of alumni is not merely parchment solidarity, rather to transmit wisdom from community, to convey urgency when necessary, and to activate and be activated on matters of import. Over the next 10 years, let's identify, measure, and amplify citizenship behaviors. Let's apply our collective might across faculties, across sectors, so we may export Canada's greatest asset, codified across borders. Thank you to the Alumni Association for this immensely touching award. I was worried I was just going to get another UFC mug, but this is truly, truly awesome. Thank you, Dr. Woolner and Lee Hurst, who have been laboriously inclusive, thoughtful, and respectful in planning today. Thank you to my nominator. Thank you to my mentors. Thank you to the faculty for making me feel safe to take risks. And thank you to all my mentees who trust me enough to teach me every day. And thank you all for indulging me and coming here today. Now, let's get to work.
Aleem scooped up to the end of my speaking notes, but that's okay, because I don't have much more to say. I want to thank all of you for coming and making this a special evening for our guest of honor. And I also want to thank Associate Vice President Michael Sclafani, who wasn't able to be here tonight, and his team at Calgary Alumni Office for their support of tonight's event. And the nominations for the 2020 Alumnus of Distinction Award will be open soon. And next year is going to be change of format, so we will be accepting nominations in all three of our categories, so education, research, and service to community. So if you can think of a graduate from any Cummings School of Medicine program who has made exceptional achievements in one of those areas, then please think about a nomination. Come talk to me, contact me later, contact me. They'll be due in the fall, and I hope to see many of you back into next year's ceremony. Congratulations again, Aleem. It's been an honor.